Hello, this is Jeff at Magical Fruit Toots. In this tutorial, I will show you how to make a backdrop design for images that don't fit on the screen size that they will be displayed on. This works for any size screen and any size image, within reason. Here we work with a tall screen such as may be used by Tumblr or Pinterest. You will see this most often where a square or portrait-style image is displayed on a rectangular screen, usually with a width to height ratio of 16:9 or 4:3, or sometimes a rectangular image on a square screen. The usual strategy is to display the image on a solid background or backdrop. Another common strategy is to use a blown-up, blurred version of the image for the backdrop. This is commonly done on videos. The backdrop procedure that I use in this tutorial utilizes the average color of the image itself so that it will blend well with the image it is based on. I then add a soft gradient to make it more interesting. Then I add a faded satin pattern. Other patterns that work well are clouds and stucco. In this tutorial, we will make an image fit nicely on a chosen screen size. If you need a backdrop for a video, just find a representative image from that video. Follow the tutorial, then turn off the eye of the image layer. The procedure to produce this backdrop is presented in such a way that it will work with a Photoshop action, which we will make as we work on the project. To begin, open up Photoshop. Choose Edit, Preferences, General, and make sure Resize Image During Place is checked. If it is not, check it. To open a new file, choose File, New. Name the file. I named this one Lady. Choose the width, height, and resolution of the screen you want your image to be placed on. I chose 1280 by 720 at 300 pixels per inch, as I wanted to place my image in a YouTube video. I could also have used 2560 by 1440 for the higher resolution version. If you want to place your image on social media, you should find out what size image you need. Then use those dimensions as the size of the new image. I recommend that you use a resolution of 300 pixels per inch for your screen sizes. This helps Photoshop resize lower-res images to fit. If you need your final result to be 72 pixels per inch resolution, you can always resize later. Next, we need to make sure the satin and clouds patterns are available. Choose Edit, Fill. Choose the Use drop-down and select Pattern. Choose the Pattern Picker flyout. Click the gear icon and choose Large List. Check to see if you have the satin and clouds pattern on the list. If you don't, choose the gear icon again and choose Patterns from the drop-down. Click Append to add the pattern group to your list. Click Cancel to leave the Fill dialog. Next, we will place embed the image we wish to work with. Choose File, Place Embedded, or Place for earlier Photoshop versions. Then browse to your image. Choose your image and click Place. Once placed, click the check mark to accept. If your ruler tool is not already open, choose View, Rulers. Important, right-click on the ruler and choose % as the measurement scale. Now we're ready to start recording the action. If you do not have an Actions panel, choose Window, Actions from the menu. Open the Actions panel by choosing its tab. Click on the Options menu and choose New Set. Name it something like My Actions. Click the Options button again and select New Action. Name it Backdrop. We are now ready to start recording. Press record to start recording. Notice the circular button at the bottom of the Actions panel. It's now red. We start out by setting up actions to create a new empty file and to place an image in that file. We've already done this, but it is needed to program the actions. Click the Actions option button icon and choose Insert Menu Item. A dialog box will now indicate that no menu items are selected. Now choose File, New. Nothing will open, but a dialog box will now show Menu Item, File, New. Click OK to accept. Click the Actions option button icon and choose Insert Menu Item again. A dialog box will now indicate that no menu items are selected. Now choose File, Place Embedded, or Place for older versions of Photoshop. Press OK to accept. Choose the Layers tab to see what's happening better. Press Alt plus left bracket to move down to the background layer. Press Delete to remove it. Press Ctrl Alt J to duplicate. Name it Backdrop. Right-click and choose Rasterize Layer. Choose Filter, Blur, Average to fill with average colors. Press Ctrl plus T to open up the Transform tool. Constrain aspect ratio should not be turned on. Click the triangle icon to choose Relative Positioning. Change W and H to 1000%. We do this to automatically fill the image with the average color in such a way that the Photoshop actions will repeat the process regardless of the image size. Click the checkbox to commit. In most cases, we don't need to stretch a fill more than 10 times its size to fit the size of the canvas. When we stretch the average color to 1000%, we created invisible bounds outside the canvas borders. To remove them, click Ctrl A to select the visible bounds. Then choose Image Crop from the menu. Then deselect. Next, we'll use the Gradient tool to apply a gradient. Choose the Gradient tool. Click the Settings drop-down and choose Black, White. Choose Reflected as a gradient type. Mode should be normal. Opacity should be 20%. Reverse, dither, and transparency should be checked. Place your cursor at about the center of the image, then hold down the Shift key while dragging a line up to the top of the image. Let go of the mouse. Add a pattern overlay layer style. Open the pattern picker. Choose the satin pattern. Scale should be 300%. Opacity should be 6%. Click OK to accept. Click Ctrl left bracket to move the backdrop to the bottom position. Choose the Actions tab. Press the Stop Recording button on the action. We've now finished recording the backdrop action. Click the Layers tab to see all the layers. Save your work. Let's run the action on another picture. You can run it from an empty Photoshop canvas, or if you run it from an existing Photoshop file, it will just create a new image, leaving the existing image still open. If the Actions panel is not open, open it. Make sure the backdrop action is selected. Press the Play button. A new file dialog will open. Choose the width, height, and resolution of the screen you want your image to be placed on. I chose 1200 by 1200 at 300 pixels per inch, as I wanted my image in a square area. After you click OK, Place Embedded screen will appear. Browse to your image. Make sure the image is in JPG format. PNG will work if no transparent areas are in the image. Click Place. Click the check mark to accept. Now the rest of the action will run. Click the Layers tab to see all the layers. This concludes the tutorial. I hope you liked it.